Today I want to show you how to work on a Marvin Integrity Wood Ultrex double hung. I happen to have two of them here. A couple little changes in the design. Of course, design subject to change without notification. So I'll show you the difference between the two and how to replace a broken balance tube and possibly why your balance tube broke. So we'll get started. So one of the things to check for is to make sure that your sash stop is in place. Sometimes people will remove these, and what they don't realize is once you remove this, this allows, when you open the bottom sash up, to disconnect the balance tube and cause this tube to drop. So this is what this looks like on this particular model, and this is what it looks like on this particular model. First, we're going to go ahead and make sure the window is unlocked, and we're going to open it up at least 3 or 4 inches. Now, if your balance tube is broken, this sash may be very heavy and you may need an extra person to help you. So if that happens, please be sure to use some extra help there. There's a tilt latch mechanism on the top of this sash that you move side to side. Move it just like that. So we're tilting it out. You would do the same thing in either model window you have. Make sure it's completely flat. Don't ever take it out like this or like this, because the spring that's good can launch and you can break the other side. So when you lay it flat, it locks what we call the clutches in place. That way you can lift the window up and take it out, or the sash, take it out for removal. The top sash comes out in the same manner, except this, you go down and there's a latch here and here, and you would move them both like this to tilt it out. Again, lay it completely flat, lift it straight up, take it out and set it to the side. Okay, first we're going to take a slotted or flat screwdriver and we're going to release these clutches. Now, if the balance tube is broke, we still need to release these. So you can do that by simulating the tilting of the sash in and out. So if the cords are still good or the springs are still good, make sure you put pressure on the top, because these things have a lot of pressure and they can spring up. So we're going to take this and we're going to turn this a quarter turn, just like that, and then we're going to lift it up out of the way. And then we're going to do the same for the top balance tube. First, we're going to go ahead and remove this, and that is going to expose this. So this is what it looks like close up. It's got this little stop here, and if this is broken, that's okay. I'll show you a little bypass around it, but that's what it looks like on this model, and this is what it looks like on this model. This particular model does not have that little clip that's up there, but I'll still show you how to fix it. On this model, if this has not already fallen off or broken off, we're going to go ahead and pull it out. And if you have the other model window, there's going to be a little foam plug that's going to be on the top of that instead of this. So if this, you see this in there, pull that out. So now we're going to remove this jamb liner. Sometimes you can just take your fingers and pull it. If you can't, just use a little flat bar to get behind there, and then that will allow you to remove this. Now that's going to expose us to our balance tubes. Now you can just take your finger, lift up on it like that, and it comes right off. Same thing with the top one. If I would have removed the little foam, this little foam piece, which I told you to remove on this one, so we'll leave that one in there for now, but you get the idea. These balance tubes are stamped with a number, and you can take that number and look in our parts book or give it to your local dealer, and they should be able to order you a new balance tube off that number. If you don't have that number, I'll show you where else to look. You can also look on the side of your sash. Normally the Integrity line, they'll put the sticker on the side of the sash, and you can take the original order number here, or you can actually get the size of the unit, and then you can give that information to your local dealer and we can order the information off those numbers. So what you can do here to keep this hook out so you can catch it, sometimes you'll be real lucky and that'll happen, because you can fling it up and then the gravity of it, or the force, centrifugal force, will cause this hook to come out. So on the other window, it's going to be a little harder on the older one because there's not as much room up here. but you can take an Allen wrench and push that out to hold that little hook out, and then you can hook it on there like that. So now you can actually replace this piece in that hole. Now I'm assuming because this tube is broken, or you're more likely you're replacing this tube because it's broken, more likely this is broken. If that happens, you can get like a little piece of wood or something. This is a little stop that I got from one of our old Ultimate double hungs. And what I'll do is I'll put it up to the very top of the frame to the bottom of this. I'm going to take a little pencil mark and I'm going to measure and cut that to fit. Okay, I've cut this to fit, and like I said, you can make it out of wood, but it needs to be skinny because you still want to be able to, for your original stop, to be able to cover that. So we're going to fit that in there, or again, if this is still okay, you would put that in there. And the reason for putting that in there is so the tube doesn't come unhooked again. So say if this was missing and you lift the bottom sash up, when you bottom out the sash, the clutch would hit this spring and cause it to come undone. So by putting this stop here, you're going to prevent that from ever coming undone. So on this model, you would actually put this foam piece back up in there like that. Or you could take a piece of that little stop and put that in its place if that little foam isn't there. So now it's time to put our jamb liner back in. Just make sure that fits up in there and between both of those tubes, just like that. And just pound it on there like that. Now it's time to put the important sash stop in. It just fits in here, just like this. And make sure it goes up in there, just like that. Now it's time to bring the clutches back down to match the other side. Now we're going to take our slotted screwdriver and we're going to move these down to match the other side. Like that. Let's go ahead and put our top sash back in. Make sure the exterior is facing up and that these pins are sitting above the clutches. And we're laying the sash completely flat, like that. Make sure you give it a little tap. Make sure that's seated properly. Do little taps like this, just like that. And we can put the bottom sash in. Again, exterior facing up, pins there, pins above the clutches. We're laying it completely flat, making sure it's seated properly, moving the latches in. And there's one more thing I want to show you before we end this video. So I would highly recommend getting some pledge, spraying it on the paper towel a lot, dab it into the paper towel, and then wipe this weather stripping down on the side. And then also fold it up and put it in these tracks here. Do this on both sides, top and bottom. And this is really going to allow this window to slide up and down nicely. And even from the factory, sometimes the dust, when they cut this material, gets all over the place. So by doing this, you're attracting all the dust to the paper towel, and it's really going to improve the performance of your window. Now it's time to try it. Works great, and it locks. I hope this video helps you out. If it helped you out, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.